Guys, I'd like to welcome to the podcast Erick Stakelbeck. He spent 2 decades covering the Middle East. He's Senior News Director for Trinity Broadcasting Network, that's TBN. He's also host of TBN's show. It's called The Watchman and The Watchman Newscast on YouTube. The website, by the way, is just watchmantv.com. Erick, thanks for joining us. Obviously, tragic circumstances, and a lot of the analysis that I'm seeing about the Hamas attacks is starting by looking at the Israeli side, the casualties, the carnage, the babies who were killed. I'd like to actually start on the other side, which is to say on the Hamas side. I don't think a lot of people know about Hamas. We hear about these terrorist groups, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas. And I think people think they're kind of all the same. Are they all the same, or are there some important differences? What makes Hamas different?
They have some very important, all these groups, Dinesh, first of all, thanks for having me again. All of these groups have certainly similarities. One of the shared similarities is the annihilation of Jews and the state of Israel. That's for starters. What makes Hamas different is that it is a self-professed arm of the Muslim Brotherhood, a movement we've heard a lot about over the years. They've taken some lumps over the past decade or so. Their main power base in Egypt has been weakened, obviously. But when Hamas was founded in 1987, Dinesh, its founding charter professed, we are the Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. When it comes to the Brotherhood, that's really kind of the granddaddy of them all when it comes to modern day Islamic jihadist movements. So that, number one, sets Hamas apart. Number two, largely Palestinian based. Obviously, Gaza, they rule with an iron fist, but also the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, a very strong presence there. But what I think is the main thing that sets Hamas apart is its support network right here in the West. I'm not necessarily talking about physical, tactical support, but the cheerleaders for Hamas that we see throughout the United States and Europe. We've seen this for many years, these American Islamic umbrella organizations, purported civil rights organizations that are literally cheerleaders for Hamas that will not condemn these demonic atrocities that we saw over the weekend. So I think that is the main thing, Dinesh, that sets Hamas apart in the polite company, quote unquote, of some of these so-called civil rights organizations. Hamas is accepted and even cheered right here in the West.
Now, let's think about why that is, because the ordinary American, even a leftist on a campus or a left-wing professor, is not likely to cheer for Al-Qaeda, right? They're not likely to cheer for ISIS. Those are like beyond the pale. But on the other hand, you find that Hamas does have a lobby, if you will, in the West. Now, is that because Hamas can claim that it is championing the anti-colonial cause, that it's representing an ethnic group of people that have had their rights abridged, if not taken away? Is that what gives Hamas that kind of special shine that you don't see on ISIS and Al-Qaeda?
I think you hit it on it, Dinesh. Absolutely. I think the struggle against oppression, the Zionist occupier. Israel is an island of Western-style colonialism in the heart of the Middle East. That is the view of so-called academics here in the West in many cases. So I think you hit the nail on the head. Anything that involves Israel. And look, Hamas has been mostly focused on Israel. Another reason that it's kind of set apart from other jihadi, which are more global organizations. Hamas has been more regional, focused on Israel. Guess what? These so-called academics here in the West have a serious distaste for Israel, to say the least. But remember, that's a key point, Dinesh. But remember, Hamas also has American blood on its hands. Obviously, at least 22 American civilians killed over the weekend. But this goes back. Hamas has killed dozens of U.S. citizens over the years in its attacks in Israel. And we've had Hamas operatives arrested right here on U.S. soil over the years.
Interesting. Hamas and Hezbollah. Now, these are two groups that are both operating in Israel. I understand Hezbollah kind of operating from the north, Hamas from the south. Hamas, I believe, is primarily a Sunni group, whereas Hezbollah is a Shia group. Now, is that just a kind of theological distinction, or does it have some relevance in in explaining what the two groups are up to, one versus the other.
You're right on the Sunni-Shia distinction, Dinesh. Hamas, Sunni, Hezbollah, Shia. But when it comes to killing Christians and Jews, they put along those theological differences and get along just fine. We've seen this again and again. It was interesting to me when people would say, well, Iran and Al-Qaeda would never work together. Iran is Shia, Al-Qaeda is Sunni. Again, they will work towards, maybe they'll turn their guns on each other at a later date, and they already have, they probably will. But in the meantime, the main enemy, the West, Christians, Jews, the state of Israel, they'll put any theological differences aside and come together towards the furtherance of that evil goal. So yes, Hamas, Sunni, Hezbollah, Shia, but brothers in arms when it comes to attacking Israel and antipathy to the West.
We'll be right back with Erick Stakelbeck, senior news editor for TBN and host of TBN show The Watchman. Debbie and I are on a really good health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber. And you know what? That's a requirement. Now, lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature, and there's no better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature. This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule, so easy to take, made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice, a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. Join Debbie and me. Start your journey to better health right now. Call 800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. You'll get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America. Again, it's balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America.